Coors Light, Whiskey Round Table. Oh, Greg, Karen, and the Whiskey Wizard talking facts and tastings. They've got you covered. Whiskey Round Table. Oh.
Welcome to the Whiskey Roundtable. We are your hosts,
Big G.
Karen Helen Keller.
Doug Dunbar.
You smell good. Did you go upstairs and take a PTA bath?
I slipped and I fell in the kitty litter box.
Oh.
What's PTA?
PTA, prick, tits, and asshole. so I had to run upstairs real quick and wipe the kitty litter off. And then I gave it a quick...
Why did I ask? I should have known better.
Fluffing, then I got a little bit of a, little
I should have
sexy,
known better than
and,
that.
I ran downstairs and this is what I put on. Anyway,
Okay.
Wait, you got a fluffer? What did you say?
I started to get a little fluffy.
I see you got the classic.
I was cleaning my package.
You got the classic white T-shirt.
I got the classic
tonight,
white T-shirt and shorts.
The Big G.
And I was sweating like Hunter Biden looking for his crack fix. But anyway, so I had to go upstairs and change.
Oh my God, I gotta tell you, because that's a good so last night I went with a couple of girlfriends and we went to go see Jeff Dunham down at the Wolstein Center at
Jeff
Cleveland
Dunham.
State. And oh my gosh, he was hysterical. He, like, everything, nothing was off limits with this guy. He made fun of everybody, and it was perfect because he spent a lot of time on Biden and the Pelosi's, which you would have loved, so...
But he made a lot of fun of Trump, and so he's pretty.
He said
equal.
he did.
But he is just, he's great.
Hey, if you can't laugh at all of it, then don't laugh at all.
He's pretty much. He's
It
just
is what it is.
talented guy.
I actually talked to him from the upper deck at Wolstein Center, if anyone can believe it. So
No, I can't believe that you would be loud.
Me
I
so
can't-
quiet
I
and
can't.
shy. I know.
Yeah,
So
I know.
we were there, and he was talking about one time when he was in Cleveland. He's like, "What was the theater in the round?" So here I am from like way up here, and I yell, "The front row." He goes, "Yeah, the front row." My friends look at me. They're like, "Can't take you anywhere."
Now, did he say that or did Walter?
No, actually, Jeff said that.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. He was talking about, oh gosh, what was he talking about? Some woman that got up from her chair and she had like her skirt was like tucked into, so like her
Panties were showing?
everything was showing.
Oh, shit.
So what he said is he followed her into the bathroom. He couldn't, I was just like, oh my God, to be there would have been hysterical. But it was a good time. We had a good time. It was the first time I've been downtown in like a year.
Yeah,
A year, maybe?
Yep.
It's so different. I felt like a tourist in my own
The
city.
only time I drive downtown now is just to make myself feel better. But anyway, oh my goodness.
Too funny.
So we are continuing.
Yep.
Easy for
With-
you to say.
I know.
Yeah.
Hallow Whiskey Month, and what are you smoking, Big G?
I'm smoking a Whiskey Roundtable cigar from one of our sponsors, Royal Havana Cigars.
All right, yeah.
Ecuadorian. Oh my God, I can't even believe I just forgot it. But the same cigar I always smoke. Just leave it at that.
And Dave will be here next week.
Dave will be our
Gotta watch the show
special guest
next week.
for our Halloween show. Dave from Royal Havana will be
Cigars.
here
Sure.
to I'll just have fun with us.
We'll have a great time.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun. So
Dave's
We're-
also, we should break out the tequila too next week.
Really
yeah, that's after show.
looking forward to that for sure.
No.
What are you pre-gaming with?
I am
Boy,
gaming.
maybe I pre-gamed too much.
Drink. Go ahead.
I
Gotta catch
pre-game
up.
with the old Granddad 114, and then I have a Woodford Reserve store pick.
There you go.
what
So
I'm
that
drinking
sounds a
right
lot like what I've pre-gamed with.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
yeah.
You have a little scotch over there, right?
I do have a little special from one of our audience members, Jimmy, for after show. I will be enjoying that on the porch.
Awesome.
We have good weather here in Cleveland today,
I'm just
and the
glad-
next 2 days after that.
I'm just glad that. All right, so we were in a panic about doing the
Oh
show
my God,
today
this story.
because Karen ordered
What was that?
bottle-
Von Payne? Is that?
Von Go or Von Payne?
Von
whatever.
Payne.
Right.
Very because trying to do for the
Halloween,
October.
right.
If you see the bottle, I mean, it's got
It's a gargoyle.
gargoyles on it, and it just was perfect.
Thanks,
but,
thanks to Bob from Cleveland Whiskey. He set us up with that. But
Yeah.
what ends up happening is it keeps coming back. We're waiting. So finally, I said to Karen, "You got to call them and see what it is." We're here to come to find out that the bottle came in broken.
Yeah.
So then we're in a panic because we couldn't figure out.
That's what they said. It came in broken.
Yeah.
But I did get an email today. They are sending me another bottle.
Awesome.
All right. Well,
We can do it
hey,
next year.
Worst case, it'll be October next year,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Or maybe we don't wait and we just do that in November. But we'll
I think
talk.
we got.
We'll
some-
talk about it,
we'll
yeah.
talk.
But so anyway,
But Bob also told us about a cocktail to make with that.
correct.
Did he?
Yeah, yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we'll drink it, and then we have time to get another one for next year.
You know what I didn't do today? I totally forgot because we were
Brush
on
your
the
teeth?
move. Yeah. Besides brush my teeth, there was something else I forgot
Well,
to do. But anyway,
we know what he's washed. But
well, I'll tell you
We
what.
know he did a
At least
PTA.
my
know
breath
what-
smells better than the dog's. Okay.
There you
But
go.
anyway, I forgot to do Confucius Say.
Oh no, you didn't.
I forgot to do it. I totally forgot to do it. I know.
Timing on that was
I
perfect.
know.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, you did.
You did forget.
And I had a good,
I noticed-
I had a good one.
Are you? Do you want to share it or do you want to wait
We're
till
gonna
next
use it
week?
next week.
Okay.
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 Yeah, I know you've got Greg Baba Bass and Derek Pilarchik love your
Yeah,
Confucius
they
Say.
do.
They,
Yeah,
they wait
that's-
every week.
that's something
Every
to look
week,
forward
yeah.
to.
So I didn't. I let everybody down this week.
It's okay.
Sorry.
We'll get it next time.
All right.
Way to go, Greg.
And
Way-
so
go.
I'll just say this. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Part of the bottle cam is what I had for my Confucius that we're going to do tonight.
Oh, okay.
So, but
Cool.
we'll still have a good one. That's all I got, kids. What else is going on? Come on, we're going to do the whiskey show.
So
Let's
let
do
me
this.
let me ask the Wiz. You got anything going on?
Well, I was talking to a guy at work, and he told me that the Jehovah Witnesses don't celebrate either Halloween or trick or treat.
They don't.
Or Christmas, or
Yeah, I
Happy New
guess
Year.
I don't know. I guess they don't appreciate random people showing up at their door.
I have
Okay.
a story. After the show, I'll tell you a real true story about something
Okay.
in my childhood
Well,
that happened.
I'll definitely
Your
look
childhood,
forward to
you
that.
did
Yeah, it had nothing to do with me. I just happened to be
Okay.
there.
I-
But anyway,
I like your true stories. They're
Yeah,
always
great story.
I can
entertaining.
tell a true story of what my daughter did.
Oh, what?
So the Jehovah's Witness came to the door and they knocked on the door. She was home alone. She opened the door and they're like, "We're here to give love to your house." And she goes, "We don't need love here." She slammed the door.
We got enough love.
she,
Thank you.
she sounds a lot like her father.
Gotta love her.
Oh, my.
So,
So it's
yes,
time.
we are doing a whiskey show, aren't
So
we, guys?
to introduce what we're doing tonight, why don't we kick it off with a bottle cam?
Yeah, that's it.
We'll be right
I
back.
want to see it.
Hey everyone, it's time for the bottle cam. The bottle cam.
Oh shit.
Here we are off mute. So
Mother trucker.
we have to
Greg,
let's
tell
go
your story.
backwards.
Oh my goodness.
Tell your story again.
So I was saying that when the Van Gogh bottle, what is that? What you
Van
pronounce-
Payne.
Van Payne.
Von
bottle-
Payne.
Von Payne.
The one that had gargoyles
That,
all over it.
that was broken in transit. So I had to.
As far as we know.
And right, and Karen was going to see Jeff Dunham, and she said, "What are you gonna do?" I said, "I'm gonna go visit my 6 liquor stores that I do business with, and I'm gonna see if I can find something that matches Halloween, a Halloween
Right.
theme, right?" So I go to the first one, which is right down the street from me, and as I walk in, they're unpacking those bottles. And I was like, and they come in that version and a rye version, bourbon version and a rye version.
Yeah.
And I was kind of thinking, what do I want? But I said, you know what? Forget the rye. I'm gonna run with this. So we post that, and then Rob Richter is at the liquor store, and he's got his bottles, and I think he's drinking the same thing. Rob, let us know if you're drinking the same
He
thing.
did.
Yeah.
He said he went and picked up a bottle today, actually. And Jennifer Boggs is out there. She said Widow Jane is effing delicious.
Yep.
The 13-year is her favorite, but she says the 10-year is good, too.
All right.
And when we were at the Nashville Whiskey Fest, that was one of the ones that we came across and kind of were really enthralled with and really thought, wow, this is really good. So anyway, I'm excited. This is the rye mash bill that we have, I think.
No, it's not the rye.
It is the rye.
It is the rye?
Yeah.
I think I got it wrong. Hang on a second.
That's
No,
what we
it's-
advertise anyway. So
It
It's
is
a
the
rye.
rye. My bad.
Yep, no,
yeah,
it's all
no,
good.
it's good. I'm glad this is the one because that's the one I didn't get to try at the Nashville
Yeah.
in Nashville. So, okay, Karen, you want to tell us more?
Yes, I will. Hold on. I'm just reading the scroll.
Oh, okay.
There's a few things going on. But,
G Money.
yeah, G Money's out there. Everybody's giving me crap because the sound wasn't on.
Cousin Phil.
But it's all good. Yeah, I did want to say for all of you, because we always let everybody know what Cousin Phil is drinking.
Yes.
'Cause
Yes.
he's the beer guy. He is drinking a Lord Hobo Boom Sauce, 8%.
Oh, that's very worthy, Phil.
It's a BB with 78 IBUs.
Right?
Cousin Phil, if you drink too much of that, you're going to be a hobo. Relax. Right? Take your time.
So I
okay?
think it's fair to. I think we can say because it's pretty official. Phil will be our guest on the show
Right.
on November 11th. I believe that is. Is
Awesome.
that?
There we go.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's good. Good.
And Bob from Cleveland Whiskey. Yes, our Von Payne broke, but they are shipping another one out to us.
Yes. Yes,
So it's all good. We're good. We're good.
Bob, we got to talk this week.
Yeah.
He just said he'd been happy to bring his. Thank you, Bob. We appreciate
Yeah.
it.
We
But,
want to sit down and have a chat.
We
Appreciate it.
recovered.
Yeah.
So it's all good. Okay.
Cool. All right.
And I forgot I'm sorry, Bob, I did not do my Confucius say. I totally forgot today. But I'll use it for next week.
Well, next week's will be twice as good.
Correct. Especially we're
Okay.
doing Royal Havana cigars.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So it'll be cool.
Love it.
Awesome.
All right. So Widow Jane. Widow Jane is out of Brooklyn, New York. It's in an area called the Red Hook District of Brooklyn, which is the northwest section of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to turn off the
Red
red
Hook,
light. but
Roxanne.
anyway, yeah, I'm just
Oh,
saying.
I
Oh,
had a hard
come
time
on,
with
80s
that.
girl. Let's get this together. Come on, get your shit together. Let's go! We're doing a radio show. Let's do it. While you're at it, can you pass it down to Doug?
Hey, Doug, can
Thank
you
you very much.
fill that up?
Okay.
Which one do you want?
I don't care.
Yeah. Just fill it up, whatever. Please, sleep. All Widow Jane whiskeys are proofed with pure limestone mineral water from the legendary Rosendale Mines of New York, which is 100 miles north of Brooklyn. So what's really cool about these mines is the landstone from these mines.
Limestone?
The limestone?
You said landstone.
Oh, did I? I was passing.
See?
See? Don't look at me. I didn't do anything.
Which is interesting because that's one of the things that makes Kentucky so good for bourbon making.
The water.
is the limestone water.
So yes, the limestone from these mines, which I thought was really cool because I'm like the history person. The limestone was used for the foundation of the Brooklyn Bridge, the Empire State Building,
Wow.
and the 27,000 ton pedestal to the Statue of Liberty.
Wow. Look at you, girl.
And
I know.
none of it was used for the making of Yankee Stadium. So
Thank God.
Go Astros.
okay.
Anyway,
Break a leg, guys. Go ahead.
don't go there with my baseball. I'm,
All right,
I'm
come on.
finally getting out of the depression
Funk,
here.
yeah, a little bit of a depression this week.
Okay, so this is an oak and apple wood product. It is aged in American oak barrels. They were previously used for their 10-year signature bourbon, but this time they added some applewood staves to enhance the flavor and kind of give it another dimension there.
Sure.
So, do you mean that it actually they took the 10-year first fill cast and then reused them for this?
That's what I understand. Yeah.
Because I did read something about said it wasn't a typical American oak bourbon situation.
No.
So
Okay.
so that must be the reason why I couldn't read. I guess I wasn't able to read between the lines to really understand what they meant by that. So that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. No. That.
So they took it like a first fill, like that, like a Scotch barrel might do. They used that, and then they used the applewood staves,
to kind of give it an extra oomph. Yes.
extra whatever applewood lends to a whiskey, which we're going to find out.
Absolutely.
Oh, and I do want to say I went to Ganley Jeep and Matt, who is the service manager there, great guy. He said we're going to love this too. So I just wanted to
He
mention
did.
to Matt
He did.
because he
Okay,
does
a
watch
lot
our
of people
show.
have been telling us that. So
Cost me a
Yeah.
cigar, but that's okay. Just kidding. Matt watches the show. I don't think he's always on the scroll, but he does watch the show.
No, great guy.
Good dude. Good guy. Very
there's a
knowledgeable.
lot of people like that, I should say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, this is a 91%, 45.5 proof, and in 2020 it won a gold medal at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition.
Wow,
All right.
that's
Well, I just have to say Jennifer Boggs never lets us down.
No, she doesn't.
And are we ready to pass this
Yep. You guys have
out? Jimmy Fall, would you like some of this?
Fabio.
All right, I'll grab you one. Hang
Jimmy
on.
Shrimp Chips.
Shrimp chips. Hang on, I got it. That's mine. Excuse me, kids.
No, you're okay. Do your thing. Here we go. Let's see. Bob or Phil said he can't wait to be on the show.
Oh, I can't wait to hang out with him.
well,
Really,
that's
So-
going to be
I'm excited.
fun.
Yep, it will be a blast.
Oh my goodness.
I finally get to meet the cabinet maker extraordinaire.
And he's, let's just say he doesn't have a small personality, so I think it's going to be a fun show.
Perfect. Gotta
Oh
love
my
that.
goodness. All right, go ahead.
All
I'm
right,
sorry.
guys.
Keep going.
Are we gonna? You gonna?
We're gonna nose it up.
Okay.
All right.
I hate saying this, but oaky. It's like goes without saying, right? But I said it anyways.
I'm sorry, Karen, what was the proof again?
91. 45.5.
Okay.
Good sweetness. Maybe green apple. Maybe.
I get like oatmeal. There's like oats almost.
Get that off the top. Very pleasing. Very pleasing on the nose.
It's soft.
It is. It's very nice.
I get maybe some black pepper and like currants, like a dark berry kind of. That's really
I would say
I like
you know,
that.
it's got a sweetness to it, and I would probably roll with some kind of berry.
yeah.
You know.
There's a dark fruit in there.
What are? I'm sorry. Just silly. What are currants?
How would you? I could like
Is
just
it like a cherry?
yeah. They're huh?
Between a grape and
Yeah, they're more closer
small
than a
grape.
kind of a cross between a grape and a cherry. That's how I would.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll with that.
I'm gonna agree with you. I'm getting green apple on the nose.
Yeah, I get green apple.
I'm not-
on it.
Not getting apple, which I was expecting because applewood, but
Yeah, I'm getting definitely green apple, not red. Green.
It's pretty heavy. It's a heavy.
It is a very nice color. It's got to be
It's
a
a-
pork char.
it's
I
a
would say.
very
Definitely
attractive. It's a very attractive nose on this.
All right, I'm
None
diving
of us
into
can
it.
talk or do anything.
I know.
So you guys
That's
go
what happens
on.
when you get frosty before the show. All right, I'm going in.
Okay,
Okay.
so while you guys go in, the nose: apple blossom, applewood smoke, apple cinnamon oatmeal, black pepper, baking spice, and currant, whatever those are. But we just learned about that.
Okay.
so- all right.
That's really nice.
Mm.
I get the pepper out of it.
Silky.
Okay.
I get a little dry oak out of it.
Now I get the apple.
It's nice.
Almost like a little, I think maybe it's the vanilla from the oak, but it's almost like caramel apple.
I get the blackberry out of it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is really
That's really nice.
fantastic.
That's really nice.
It's silky. It's definitely apple. I get more of the green apple.
I'm sticking with caramel apple. I get a
Caramel,
little,
yep.
Caramel.
a little nutmeg almost like.
I don't get the cinnamon, but I definitely get caramel.
Yeah, I don't get cinnamon either. I get some nutmeg though.
This is what you call LPR.
LPR, liquid
Here we-
panty remover.
Here we go with more of the
Yeah.
acronyms.
BDR, if you drink too much, you get an LPR.
Well,
Well, at least women do.
very.
Liquid panty remover. Guys drink too much, you get a BDR. Bad dick report. But anyway,
Oh my god, this is dangerous. Jen,
What do you expect? This is the Whiskey Roundtable.
Jen and Matt, you did not steer us wrong because this is wow.
Well, for a kind of last minute emergency pick, I'm very pleased with that. That's really good.
it.
Let me ask, what did you pay for this bottle?
Yeah.
I think it was $46.
I was gonna say, I think I saw it online for like $44.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
46
I
bucks.
mean, I couldn't have fell into that. I mean, I'm thinking I'm going here, going. I'm
Holy
thinking,
crap.
and it's every liquor store I deal with is,
local.
Illinois, Florida, California.
Well, you got this local.
I
Obviously,
did, but
because we
what
were
I'm
on
saying
short
is, it
notice.
was like I thought I was going to be traveling most of the evening trying to find something that goes with the holiday, Halloween. And the first store I walked in, they just happened. He pulls out and goes, "Hey, you interested in one of these?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'm interested in one of those."
it's it's got a very, it's got kind of all the things I like in a rye. It's got that rye edge to it, that drier baking spice.
It definitely
it's
pairs
just-
well with the cigar.
Yeah, it would be. If I smoke cigars, it would be. I think I agree. It would be the perfect.
I'm getting you got the oatmeal on the nose. I
Yeah.
get the oatmeal on the palate.
I don't.
It's
get
funny. I
the
didn't
oatmeal
get
at
the
all.
I did.
apple on the nose, but I get
Yeah,
the I get the apple.
Whoa,
on
Apple
the
on your
palate.
nose.
Easy.
Whoa, hey now.
Hey now.
Oh, what? What did I
Whoa,
say?
Nothing.
Apples on your nose.
Apples on
Oh.
your nose.
Better than nutskins on your nose.
Amen.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
Jen?
Right, Jen? Yeah.
That's right.
And Jen's like, I just remember that from my college days, but anyway.
Oh no, she didn't.
That's right. She'll fire back. I'm all right.
I know she will. That's why we love her.
Access denied.
Okay.
Oh
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, it is very good, Shauna. You like it too,
Nice.
Jimmy? What do you think?
I'm not a bourbon guy. I like Woodford, and that's some of the smoothest bourbon I've ever tasted.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nose,
It's.
and I mean, I'm not even putting an ice cube in it, Doug.
Oh my
Whoa.
God. What?
Whoa.
Hey now, no
Game
ginger
cha-
ale.
Let's
either?
not get
Game
carried
changer.
away.
Game
No, I
changer.
asked for Jimmy. Oh my God. That's,
I'm just drinking it neat, and I love it.
wow.
Nice.
I'm going to steal the bottle on my way out the
Go
door.
right ahead.
I'll arm wrestle you
welcome.
for it.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll ship.
Well, we're not making any. Bones about kind of our feelings towards this. Do we have? What about the finish, you guys? What do you think? Like, it's reasonably lengthy.
Right. Long finish.
But in
and
a
you-
good way.
Yeah,
and
it's
it-
like you get some warming pepper. Some of the more spicy elements, kind of hang out there and just decay nicely. It's really good, really good.
I'm really impressed.
Nice.
Palate, baked apple, orange peel, green caramel apple, pralines, fresh baked bread, and nutmeg, which I think you said nutmeg, Doug. The finish, rye, dried apple, and blood orange.
I didn't get any of the orange out of it. And
I don't either.
I usually will pick up orange.
Yeah, I don't get citrus, any kind of citrus with this, but you know,
To me, I'm going to start doing this because after I taste it and I go back and nose it, it's totally different to me.
yeah.
Totally. It's more sweet on the nose after I've tasted it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a nice nose. It's a very inviting nose, and it lives up to its appeal
Nice.
when you taste. So,
Hey,
Shall
Big
we-
G, this is almost like a Helen Keller pick you got here.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Jen says, I'm not ashamed to say I love nutskins.
That's my girl.
Before we do the ratings, shall we do another bottle cam?
We can.
Okay.
How long is the bottle can?
Oh, I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know. You did it.
Under a minute.
Oh, go ahead.
Let's
Just
go.
kidding.
We'll be back shortly.
Hey everyone, it's time for the bottle cam. The bottle cam.
Hey, look at us.
And we're back.
And you can hear us this time. Woohoo.
Yeah.
Right.
We took us off mute, which is good.
Yes.
All
Oh,
right.
wait. Jose Padilla joined us.
Jose, my man.
Jose.
Weeki Wachi, Florida. Really? You're on vacation and you're
I
still
think-
watching us?
Oh,
I think
that
he's,
is-
I think they're down with their son.
No,
Aww.
I
that's
think he's in
nice.
Florida.
Oh, Rob Richter says he gets sweet and green apple on the nose.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That agrees with what we said. So
Rob, that is so cool. And that's a great idea that you went out. You found out what we were drinking tonight. You went out and bought it. And
I like
you could
that.
kind of do a tasting with us
Yeah.
live. And that's a great idea.
And that's maybe a little hint for everybody else. We always announce, usually midweek, what we're going to do. And if you
All right.
have the chance to try it with us, we like having. We'd like to get your impressions at home too as we taste.
So Rob, if you're still watching,
Yeah.
we're going to take your rating. So you think about how you
All right,
rate it.
I'm writing right now. We're going to put Rob's score on.
Yeah, and Sean, a great idea. You also said, what are your notes on the palate? So let's see what you got.
Awesome.
All right, who wants to start off this week with the ratings?
I started last week. Who's going this week?
Let's let Karen
You
start.
didn't even ask me how.
Are the Brovern watching the
show
show
it was.
again? We must endure more high-low references, I imagine.
Siri, are you smoking weed? What's going on over there?
I think she is.
Shoo.
You hanging out with Hunter Biden? What's going on right now, girl? What the fuck is up? All right. Really?
What's up, girl? Come
Come
on.
on.
Sleep.
Pass the pipe.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about ratings.
Oh,
Rating.
But you
yeah.
said no one asked you about what?
What's this?
You said no one asked me about something, and then Siri
that was 10 seconds ago.
And
Okay, so we're gonna go into
there
the
was
ratings.
a Siri just kind of came in with some nonsense. I don't know.
Oh,
She wants another pour. Anyway, we're gonna go in the ratings. You said you started last week, so does
did.
that mean you don't want to start this week? You're gonna pass it
You
over
or-
to me?
I said, why don't we have Karen start first?
Okay.
So
I'm sorry. Yeah. So right quick.
on
I'm
our whiskey roundtable 1 through 5 scoring system, Karen.
5 being the best, I'm
Yes.
giving it a 4.3.
Ooh, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about a 4.3.
Wow,
That's what
that
you're talking
is
oh,
wow.
bullies.
I think I'm gonna put the beer aside and drink this the rest of the
Oh,
evening.
that and that tells you something. She's willing to put the beer
I
aside.
was being in there
Okay,
Again?
again. So
All
I
right.
do my whole life. Good.
So I'll go here. This is very good, and I'm going to surprise on this. This falls into I'd like to have this in my collection at all times. So I'm giving this a 4.05.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
It's to me, it's it's like lots of times I'm looking at my collection and I'm like, I don't want to quite drink. This is one I would go, oh god. And what's the price? 40 something? Yeah,
46, 40.
46, 48.
Mid-
easily
40s.
it's something I could probably
Just shy of
have on
50
my
bucks.
shelf, and so yeah,
Now I got to
definitely.
go back and get the other bottle.
Let's see, because Big G and I are usually close on our assessments. So what do you got, G?
I'm a solid 4.
Yeah, baby.
A solid
4.0 for G, and let's go.
Jimmy, Shauna,
Let's
what do you think?
What
Jimmy?
you guys got?
Jimmy?
Yeah, being a Woodford and
Scotch
Jim
guy.
being black guy,
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving this a solid 4.
4 for
Because
Jimmy.
I'm
All
giving
right.
this,
Who's
even
a
for the
Scotch
black guy,
drinker,
you're
pretty much.
What?
Even for the black guy?
I'm black guy. Even
Oh,
as a black
shit.
guy, I'm giving this a solid 4 because I'm
Amen.
drinking it straight and it's smooth as
Yeah. All right, Jimmy.
Okay, Shauna,
Fantastic.
what do you got?
4.2.
4.2.
Whoa.
Oh my
Whoa.
God.
Girls represented.
Wow.
On our shelf.
Awesome.
Wow.
Gotta
Awesome.
have it, gotta have it. I asked Rob up north what his score is, and while we're waiting for that to come in, he said, at least on the palate, it is peppery, a bit more heat than he expected.
I don't get any of that.
Oh, really?
I don't get any heat. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
everybody's palate's different. I mean,
He's-
everybody's palate's different.
He said it is silky smooth and nice, long finish. Second pour seemed more balanced. That's what I'm talking about,
There you
brother.
go.
Keep going. Probably because I didn't pregame.
Well, okay. I was wondering maybe he was doing Yukon Jack or something.
No. Well,
But
Southern
no,
Comfort.
Yeah.
when he said that this was too hot,
Anyway, Rob's score 3.95.
oh wow, that's very
Nice,
respectable.
respectful.
He
All
said
right, okay.
he
Rob.
would be at
with
4
you.
without the apple flavor. Without the apple
Did you
flavor.
read the bottle?
Well, I think he's all right. So
All
It's
right,
not an
Yeah.
apple.
All right.
3.95. It's not something if you go to Rob's house you'll find on his shelf,
Mm-hmm.
but he almost picked it up.
We still respect you, Rob.
okay,
Go ahead.
love it.
All right.
Well, we all like
Did
this.
Jen give a?
What's Jen have?
Yeah, Jen. She says. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Nutskins. She loves. Jen, what's your score? I know you've had this and you love it. So why don't you let us know what you would give that?
What you would rate this if you've had this particular Widow Jane, and let's move on. Let's do
All right.
Whiskey Wizard, and then we'll come back. Hopefully, Jen will have a score for us, and we can wrap things up.
All right. Be back, kids.
See you in a bit.
Bye bye.
It's the Whiskey Wizard.
Hello and welcome to the Whiskey Wizard, where we say that whiskey making takes scientific knowledge, an artisan's skill and dedication, and a little bit of the wizard's alchemy of light, air, earth, and fire. It's October, and we need to talk about the Spirit Safe. No, it's not a box with negative ectoplastic energy where dangerous spirits are sucked into it and held captive. We're talking about the Whiskey Spirit Safe. Perhaps in the process of whiskey making, there is no more important piece of functional apparatus. The term spirit safe is most often used in the context of Scottish whiskey, but the function applies to American whiskey as well. The ancient art of distillation remains refreshingly consistent. To the wizard, it's a little bit of alchemy, and its results are the equal of turning lead into gold. The spirit safe has a lot to do with the evolution of whiskey distilling, from regional power shifts to the improvement of cutting to a 19th century crackdown on illegal practices in the Scotch whiskey trade. Okay, let's take a step back here and look at the 19th century Scots production law. The rough cut, so to speak, Scotch whiskey is made from a fermented mash of grains, or in Scotland, barley. By malting the barley or mashing the grains, you make its starches more accessible for sugar conversion and then everybody's favorite chemical reaction, fermentation. Basically, that gives you a sort of beer liquid when the process is completed. To extract a whiskey from that beer or grain mash, you need to distill it. Of course, as we've discussed in our episode on distilling, the way it works is by taking advantage of the different boiling points of water and alcohol, with alcohol volatilizing at a lower temperature. Alcohol is evaporated and recondensed into a liquid, one that is almost entirely clear, or in America, it is known as White Dog. Except not all of what evaporates as alcohol is created equal. The earliest evaporations and the latest evaporations are called the heads and tails, and they can contain less than desirable chemical accompaniments, which can be poisonous or bring them off flavor, such as burnt rubber or petroleum. The art of distillation is timing the cuts, meaning when to start collecting and when to stop collecting the good stuff. And that's where the function of the spirit safe comes in. Looking a little bit like an aquarium tank, the spirit safe is quite literally a safe, and there can even be a padlock on it, hearkening back to the days when only the customs and excise taxman could unlock it. This was to prevent illegal siphoning or selling of whiskey. But it also allows the distiller to observe the spirit as it's being distilled, thus improving the accuracy of the cuts. It was invented by a guy named Septimus Fox in the 1820s, but made mandatory in 1823 when the Excise Act basically changed the Scottish whiskey industry as we know it. It meant the government got a take and there was some oversight. One benefit, I guess, was that the laws enabled smaller Highland distilleries to have a shot at competing with the bigger Lowland distilleries. While not necessarily the beginning of whiskey licensing in Scotland, it was very pivotal. The spirit safe prevented the aforementioned siphoning, meaning nobody could lift the good stuff, mainly the heart of the distillate, before taxes were paid on it. The main point is to enable both limited access to the distillate and measuring equipment so as to allow the distiller to make the appropriate cuts in alcohol percentages, cogeners, etc. Where Scotch is concerned anyway, up until 1983, the Customs and Excise officer actually kept a hold on the key to the spirit safe. These days, it's held by the distiller typically. And it should be noted, Scotch isn't the only whiskey that uses the spirit safe. Bourbon producers also use them. Again, perhaps one of the most confusing concepts in distillation is that of distiller cuts. The term is often thrown out along with heads, hearts, and tails. So okay, let's cover again what these words actually mean. They're not complicated, but they do warrant some explanation. During distillation, liquid in the still is heated to a vapor. That vapor is then pushed along to the condenser where it is cooled back into a liquid. The resulting distillate is more concentrated in ethanol and certain flavor compounds than the liquid it left behind in the still. As the distillation process continues, the heat in the still continues to rise as more alcohol leaves the liquid being distilled. This has the interesting effect of causing certain flavors and aromas to be released in the still at different times. You can think of the spirit safe as the control center of the still room. Again, the spirit safe is designed to allow the distiller to analyze and manage the destination of the product of the spirit still as it emerges from the spirit condenser without ever coming into contact with the spirit itself. The first liquid to emerge from the spirit condenser as the spirit still is heated is the most volatile, undesirable foreshots or heads, and these are directed from the spirit safe to the low wines and feints receiver for redistillation. Gradually, the alcohol content reduces, and what emerges is the spirit that will end up as Scotch or American or Irish whiskey. The distiller has to judge the right moment to redirect the flow of the product to the spirit receiver instead of the low wines receiver. This is when the alcohol content measured by hydrometer in the spirit safe falls to about 75%, or when the emerging spirit no longer turns the water cloudy. another test conducted remotely inside the spirit safe. The alcohol content of the emerging liquid continues to gradually fall during the run. When it reaches a point between 70% and 60% alcohol by volume, again as measured by a hydrometer within the spirit safe, the flow is switched away from the spirit receiver and back to the low wines and feints receiver, again for redistillation. These are the tails or aftershots. In the heart of the cut, or the good spirit, that will be used to fill the casks for maturation in the warehouse. The first distillery to have a spirit safe was Port Ellen in Scotland. Four Roses has a spirit safe, also known as a tail box. Inside, a hydrometer rests inside a device called a parrot, which is the final piece of equipment spirit contacts before it leaves the still. A parrot looks like a teapot fed by an input pipe at its base. The hydrometer lets the operator evaluate the alcoholic concentration of the distillate from the outside. In the United States, we aren't required to use spirit safes, although some distillers do. Without a safe, distillers can make cuts by taste and smell. With a spirit safe, distillers have to rely on their hydrometer measurements and past experience to make cuts accurately. Some spirit safes also have an internal device that lets the distillers mix output with water to evaluate its clarity, another way to determine the stage of distillation. Like a lot of aspects of whiskey making, doing the cuts is a science and an art, but most of all, it takes a lot of practical experience. This is typically the job of your head distiller or his second. I hope this was interesting, as it's part of the heart of whiskey making. You say it was? Well, okay, now that's the spirit. And we at the Whiskey Roundtable hope that over this coming trick-or-treat season, you'll have fun while keeping your families and your spirits safe. This is Douglas Dunbar, the Whiskey Wizard, for the Whiskey Roundtable. Cheers, Slàinte. And now... back to the live show.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
So what do we got on the scroll, kids?
We got something. Bob said he's got. I can't even say it out loud. Bob said his belly is a spirit safe.
So, Bob, just curious if Cleveland Whiskey actually has a spirit safe, other than the one in your belly. So,
So what did Jen ever comment back?
yes,
or-
Jen gave us her score
we
as
did get a score.
4.05, which sounds familiar. That was the exact same score I gave. So,
So
And,
good job.
so the women all gave it over a 4.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I mean, it deserves that.
It's very good. So while we were away, I went on the OHLQ website to try to let you guys know where you can pick this up.
good.
On the
good.
east side, you can go to the Wine Reserve in Bainbridge, Pat O'Brien's, which we love them, in Pepper Pike. You can also go to the Giant Eagle in Chardon, World Wines of Liquor in Mentor. And then on the west side, you can go to Ross's Wine and Liquor in Berea, Joe D's Beverage in North Royalton, Giant Eagle in Bedford Heights, and the World Wines in Northfield, and Shoregate Beverage and Liquor in Willowick. I know
No.
those aren't the west side, but those are...
Nothing at Market District?
I did not see that on the OHLQ
I
website.
want to take a shot in the dark, but I think they would probably have it as well.
Okay.
Awesome.
But yeah, I would definitely... Great bottle, and I would definitely recommend going out there and getting one of these.
So what else we got on the scroll, kids?
You got it, Doug? I'm lighting my
Scroll.
cigar.
Well, trying to like the special effects on the wizard. Thank you. Bob Leckhand says not yet, as far as the spirit safe. Coming to the new... Oh, Does that mean you actually may have one as a part of the new distillery? That would
That'd
be
be
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, I think
What else we got?
it's a kind of a tradition, throwback, if you will. That's cool.
My brother Steven out there? I ain't heard from
Steve,
him.
you know,
Steve
he
is, yeah.
there was so much going on in the beginning of the show, and that's all, you know, we had the volume problems, which I'm just checking. Yep, okay, we're still there.
All right.
Yeah, brother Steven
Oh,
is
there
there
he is.
from Houston.
Okay, what's up, brother?
From Texas.
All right,
Come
let me
on,
know.
the
Right.
Astros beat
Oh,
the Yankees.
Absolutely. All right.
Sorry,
let
had
me
to
know.
just throw
Let me
that
know
in
you're
again.
still on the scroll, bro.
Jennifer has switched up to her, what'd you say, her Bookers?
Yes, I think that's
Little Book.
Little book.
Little Book. Oh yeah,
Little
Oh,
book.
wow.
she likes
face.
those. Yes.
And Sergeant Steve said, must get me a bottle of Bookers.
Yeah, and Steve, you're doing the show in November, right? Let us know.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's a school night. Oh no, tonight's a school night. Never mind. You gotta work tomorrow? Sucks for you. Anyway,
That's a shame.
Yeah, Steve, you're stupid. Anyway, go ahead.
Phillies up 1-0.
All
There
right.
we go. Go Phillies.
Phil likes the Phillies, and
That's right.
So do
Other
I.
than Phil,
That's,
I can't
that's the
wait.
team I'm pulling for.
I'm looking forward to that show. I really am.
That's gonna be so much.
Yeah, I know what he's
Yeah.
going to do. He's going to bring his beer. I see it already.
Oh yeah.
We should switch. Phil and I should be at one end of the table
Yeah.
because we're the beer drinkers.
Phil will have his arrogant bastard or
I
some
cannot.
other
I love Arrogant Bastard. That's a great drink, man. It's a great beer.
So
Now,
appropriate.
some heavy
back in
hoppy
the
beer.
day,
Yes.
back in the
exactly.
day when I drank beer, because I don't really drink beer anymore, but one of the things Karen bought me were those big bottles. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember.
Oh
Of
yeah.
the Arrogant Bastard. I loved that. I mean, heavy. It was really, really good.
It's so appropriate.
Phil likes
with the name.
beers that you have to say what proof it is.
Steve Gallowon says, make sure Fabio is supplied with plenty of Sprite. He is drinking this straight.
You're drinking it straight.
No
He
ice, and he
likes
is
it,
just
Steve.
Uh,
No Sprite
No more
tonight.
Sprite with Scotch, Steve, too.
yes.
What'd you say?
Right.
I'm sorry, Jimmy. What'd you
No
say?
more Sprite with my Scotch either. Steve.
Oh,
Yes, Jimmy's evolving. Yes, he's growing and evolving. So
Hey, that's the difference between marriage and non-marriage. Oh!
Wow.
Nobody to tell him any different. Okay. Oh,
Okay.
oh,
Phil says he's going to convert you to being a beer drinker again.
Okay, Phil, I'm up. I'm up for the task. I'm up for the
So
task.
when my cousin Billy came into town, I call him Billy. He's 60-some years old, and I still call him Billy. My cousin Bill came in. We went to the brewery down the street from us.
The eighth day.
Eighth Day Brew. Oh my gosh, we drank so much beer, Phil.
We did.
If you're in town, if you're going to be here for a while, we would love to take you.
Oh, yeah.
There is like right down the street from us. There's like 3 different breweries.
Beer
We would
breweries.
love to treat you out for a night and show
Be
you
a
around.
Good time. Good time.
You'd like it. You really would
Absolutely.
like it.
Absolutely. We have a great time. Good guy.
Very good. Very, very
Absolutely.
good.
All right.
All right, kids, we have like some time, and we didn't really talk about this, but I don't know if you have any news.
I mean, it happens so rarely that it kind of catches us off guard. But I have plenty of news. We
Jimmy,
talked
are you
about.
trying to light our couch on fire over there? What are you doing?
I don't know. There's some. That wasn't me.
So we talked about the green crab whiskey, right? We did talk about that one. Bladnock has a 30-year-old single malt that they released, I think this last summer, which probably is the last time we did the news. But yeah, so
It was like 6 years ago. But anyway,
yeah, it's
go
a
ahead.
30-year-old single malt, and it is fairly wide distributed, but it's a little bit pricey. It's in the $1,000 range. So we'll move on. What?
What?
That's a lot.
The cast of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Phil, if you like that show.
Go Phillies.
They've debuted for Four Walls Whiskey. So four jeez. Four
What is
Walls.
wrong with us today?
You're getting your merge.
I
mixed.
mean, I have had no more than a normal show. But
Fuzzy tongue.
yes. Anyway, it's an exciting release that came
back
out
hair.
recently from Howerton and Rob McElhaney, 3 of the stars from the hit TV show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia announced the release of their Irish whiskey brand 4 Walls Whiskey, which debuted with 2 expressions. And anyway, that's just out. John Petrucci.
I'll give you a free
Okay.
pass on
Okay,
that
so
because that
pass,
doesn't
shot,
sound
shot,
easy to
shot.
Well, anyway,
pronounce at all.
he's a rock guitarist. Iron Smoke Distilling unveiled Rock the Barrel 2. Iron Smoke Rock the Barrel.
Who's that?
That came out
Petrucci?
I think that was actually late this summer. He's the Grammy Award-winning guitarist, and Fairport, New York-based Iron Smoke Whiskey Distillery are launching that Rock the Barrel 2. So obviously this is an annual release. Okay, it sold out 18 hours after its launch, so we will continue. Macallan M Collection is out. Again, it's very pricey. One of their limited releases for 2022. Got great reviews, of course. Jameson 18 year is out. That's another one that is
Jameson
gonna,
18 is unbelievably
Alright.
good.
Really?
Did you have
Oh,
some?
I did. I had some 2 weeks ago.
Where was
Wow.
All right, Big G,
what's
you
up?
Was I
demand.
there?
No. I went to a luncheon with one of our guys that watches the show, and all his friends from Toledo came out, and he brought 18-year Jameson. I'm telling you, I think it was $100 a bottle. I'll tell you what, if you see it, get it. If you don't even like Jameson, that is a great friggin' drink.
Well, let's see if we can get some for Irish Whiskey Month in March. That would be great.
I'm sorry?
What is it again? Jameson?
Jameson 18 year. It is unbelievable. And I like Jameson products. A lot of people don't like Jameson. And I always tell people, if you want to learn about bourbons or whiskeys, Jameson is where you start. I swear to God, it's where you start.
Yeah.
And they have so much better products to offer. Unfortunately, you can't get them in different states or whatever. But that 18 year, damn. I said, he said, just try a little bit. So I tried it. I was like, "Huh." So
That's cool.
everybody's having some, this and that. And I look at him, I go, hey, do you mind? And he's like, gee, handle it. And I was like, okay, boom. It was fantastic.
Nice.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I'll bet that I have no trouble believing that.
Yeah.
So also Woodford Reserve Toasted Oat Grain was released.
It's over there on the table, isn't it? Woodford.
we have-
That's a store.
Some Woodford.
This is a
Reserve,
store.
yeah.
That's a
But
store
this is oat grain.
Right.
Toasted Oat Grain is a new limited release they had not too long ago. And the oat grain bourbon was bottled at 90.4 proof, and it's available in 375 milliliter bottles. Is that what, half size?
Yeah.
For
yeah.
$60 a piece. Well, all right. So they make it available.
Right.
Jura Distillery came out with its Fay Isle 2020.
What distillery?
Fay Isle, Jura.
Jura.
So that's the little island next to Isla. So
Oh, okay,
it's
okay.
also got very peaty, smoky whiskeys, and they came out with their 2022 edition for the annual Fay Isle or Fay Isla Festival. And so that's back. It usually takes place in May. So obviously that was a May release. So that's been on the list of news for quite some time, but.
Bob said oat grains. Bob from Cleveland Whiskey
Yeah.
said oat grains are sweet and delicate.
Yeah,
I agree.
I
agree.
I like that. I like oat grain. I think it's a nice addition to a grain bill because it does add some softness, some sweetness, and
Buffalo Trace
it's
does
very
a
unique.
Taylor oak.
exactly, yeah.
Just a little bit of news from our audience out there in YouTube land. Jennifer Boggs says Jim Beam is releasing a Basil Hayden's finished in red wine casks,
They're on the shelf right now.
as well as the yearly Basil Hayden 10-year. And we were just talking to
And
Matt
so,
about.
so Jennifer, they have all the releases out here in Ohio. If you want me to get you something, let me know.
Got a girl.
That's great. Yeah, good job. Thanks, Jen.
So,
Anything else?
Steve Galliwan is saying, "What do you know about Jameson? Because you're Italian, not Irish."
Oh, well, listen.
Oh.
I might give you a coin, if you will, the next time you come here, and we can probably do the show with you up in the bathroom. But anyway, oh. So I don't know if Big G is still on the scroll, but he's always wondering
Who's
what
Big
I'm
G?
smoking. That's my friend Greg.
Oh,
okay,
his
yeah,
brother?
because we
So-
usually call you Big G. So I
Yeah,
just-
so a G Money. I'm sorry, G Money. So if he's still watching, I'm smoking a New World, and it's AJ Hernandez is a very good
Oh, it's
cigar.
another
Oh,
one.
nice.
You just lit up another
I
one
just lit
because
it
you
up.
started off with
Exactly
the whiskey
Is
roundtable
my
cigars.
brother still on the scroll? He leave out already.
I don't see Williams. I see Galawan. Galawan's still there, busting balls because that's what he does.
That's right.
He's asking all kinds of questions. He's like, "Who's in the audience?" Steve, we have cut
Yeah. Steve,
live
that's
audiences.
awesome. Listen,
We don't do that. It's family only.
go
Okay.
cuddle your wife. You'll be okay tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
On that note, do you have any parting words for us, Wizard?
Wait a minute. Don't you
Okay.
want to hear my news?
Oh,
You
I'm
have
sorry.
news?
Oh,
You-
y'all got it off the scroll.
usually
there.
you're
What's
like,
up?
"Oh, I'm gonna need news."
Well, we haven't done news since 1972. But anyway,
Oh well, what do
Okay.
you got
Well,
there?
we have-
so
Okay,
rumor
go
rumor on the street.
Is
Rumor on the street
All
is
right.
Buffalo Trace is no longer doing a 10-year.
Buffalo Trace, you mean?
Buffalo Trace
Wow.
Eagle Rare.
Okay.
They're taking it off the shelves after the first of the year.
Eagle Rare.
I'm
10-year
sorry,
rare.
Eagle Rare.
Yeah.
What did I say?
You
Buffalo
said Buffalo
Trace.
Trace. That's
I'm
why
sorry.
I
Was
questioned
Buffalo
you.
Trace.
Well, it's a
So-
product, yeah.
So, long story short, they're replacing it with 7-year aged. They say that the 7-year has much more notes better than the 10-year, so they're going to pull it, and starting next year, they will be putting out Eagle Rare 7-year. So
I totally kind of get that
I do
in some
too.
ways
I
because
do.
I've always said, and you guys, I've mentioned it many times. I think that Scotch whiskey, the peak is usually about 17, somewhere between 16 and 18 years, and then I think actually starts to diminish. And I think with bourbon, it's a little early. It's obviously earlier. I think they peak about 7 years.
7 years.
So,
That's what
yeah.
they're saying.
Yeah. So
So, and they also did they also did not Buffalo Trace, but they did a big thing between Blanton's and regular Buffalo Trace, and
Yeah.
Buffalo Trace blew
Smoked them.
Blanton's away.
you sent me that article. Yeah.
Now listen.
Well,
I-
we're gonna do a blind
right,
taste test.
So
or
we're not doing. Yeah. Okay.
Greg
so,
doesn't want blind.
We'll
We'll
talk.
do a
We'll
taste
talk.
test.
But at the
Anyway.
end of the day, now when I talk about Buffalo Trace against Blanton's, they're
Yeah.
talking about the regular Buffalo Trace. and-
Available at any of your local
comparison.
establishments.
Right. The
Not the
comparison.
special.
Not the, and what people don't know is Buffalo Trace is regular Buffalo Trace, but then they also put out a product, Buffalo Trace Single Barrel. Now, I'm a big single
Which-
barrel guy, which I have.
There's no question in my mind
Okay.
where that
So,
ranks.
and I'll send you over the whole thing. And there we had a big scroll about a lot of guys, Scott Rory Blaff being one of them, about when that happened, and it all lit up everybody's comments, and everybody said Buffalo Trace regular bottle, hands down.
Hey, there you have it. And
So Jennifer says it needs to be a blind taste test for the Buffalo Trace.
Well,
you know,
I'm
I
kind
will-
of that from the science perspective. I like that. But we'll figure it out. Greg doesn't like blind taste tests, but
Well, because when we do blind tasting, we're doing along with people that like when we did the Scotch show, a lot of people, they're not as diverse, so to say. And I'm not saying I'm diverse and I know everything about everything, because that's not true. But I've been in the game for a while, and I can usually pick what I like against whatever. So
you're impartial.
I'm impartial. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what
So-
you're going into, and you're
Right.
going to give an honest opinion.
Exactly right.
So Jennifer, just to go off of your Eagle Rare
Mm-hmm.
story, she said they're switching to a 7-year to put out more bourbon to meet the demand.
Well, I'm sure that's true. I'm sure there's a business side to that, right?
in my opinion, I think that's hogwash. Okay, I think it's hogwash. Buffalo Trace, unfortunately, Sazerac Company, a lot of the products that they produce today leaves out of our country into other countries.
Well,
And-
yeah.
Okay, and they sold themselves out. I've been saying this shit for how long?
You've been saying
Okay,
it for a while.
for
You
a
were
long time.
PO'd about
they,
it too.
They sold out and then did a contract where all these other countries get majority of the product. That's bullshit. Okay, and I'll just leave it at that because it makes me very angry. Okay, so
He'll
anyway,
turn green and the Hulk will come out and
Hey.
Okay.
it won't be good.
2024 kids.
Rob
Yeah.
said, I'm smoking an aging room Maduro, and he's going to have to try the Widow Jane without the cigar tomorrow and see if it changes the flavor. So, Rob, let us know
Yeah.
if that does anything different and you give it a different score.
Mm-hmm.
Would like to know. And I think that takes us to the end of the show.
So we do want to thank you all for watching. If you're with us here live, of course. And remember, if you can't watch the show live, please go back and watch it whenever it's convenient. It's all those views that help us keep this thing going. And so we'll see you next on Friday, October the 28th at our usual 7:30 p.m.
For
time.
Royal Havana Cigars.
We'll have a special guest on, Dave Samrock with Royal Havana Cigars. And we'll continue with our last episode of Hello Whiskey Month.
Smokehead, Sherry Bomb.
Oh boy, we got a good one. A good one next week, and it fits very well with Hello Whiskey Month theme. So subscribe to our YouTube page if you haven't, and all that kind of stuff. Follow us on Facebook, and we'll leave you with tonight's closing quote. This one comes from H.P. Lovecraft. So if you don't know, he was an American writer. He does a lot of weird science, fantasy, and horror fiction. So his quote is, "While downing the last of some good whiskey, I realized there are horrors that lie beyond life's edge that we do not suspect, and once in a while, man's evil prying calls them just within our range."
All right, kids.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's
I
deep.
like that.
That's real deep. But anyway, all right, kids. Hey, thanks for watching. We had a great time tonight, and we might have pre-gamed a little bit too much. But anyway,
Go get your Widow Jane Applewood. Just do it.
Absolutely. So we'll catch you next week for the Royal Havana show, and looking forward to that. And
Absolutely.
we'll catch up with you next week. God bless. Safe weekend. Catch you later. Big G.
Karen Helen Keller.
Doug Dunbar.
We are the Whiskey Roundtable.
Hasta Winnebago.
See you next week.
If whiskey stopped working, every bar in town would be closing their doors, shutting down. Everybody would be trapped with their thoughts, 'cause nothing numbs the pain like bourbon or scotch. Oh no, oh no, no. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably wasting lots of money trying therapy. If whiskey stopped working, what the hell would I do? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be over you. If whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, oh, whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped, oh. Poor Jack D would be out of a job. Jameson and Bean would be cut off. Hank Williams' songs wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, this whole damn world would be a mess. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably wasting lots of money trying therapy. If working, where the hell would I be? Probably halfway out of this town, leaving Tennessee. If whiskey stopped working